Hi there guys, and welcome back to another video here on Reading FC Away Days. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's 2-0 loss to Benfica. Now, apologies if there is a little bit difference in the camera quality. My camera died, and I need to charge it, and I just want to get this video out there, so I'm recording this off my phone. Audio should still be fine though, because the mic's still working, so yeah, we're all good here. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk to you guys about Reading's 2-0 loss to Benfica, in which was a pretty tough pre-season friendly. It was a pretty grueling one. It was pretty much a good game, really. I think when you look at what happened, really, Reading played good for the first half. We had a good first half. I got to say, I did manage to watch most of the game. Didn't watch all of it, because I was at work, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to watch the full 90 minutes, but I was able to get most of it in whilst at work. But yeah, I had to obviously, well, continue with my work as well at the same time. But yeah, I managed to watch most of the game, and I'm going to go ahead and go through kind of what I thought about the game itself. So what we'll do is just go through the starting 11 just for the first half. So we had Joe Lumley in goal, we had Andy Yeardom, Tom Holmes, Genevieve and Tom McIntyre at the back, Genevieve being one of the trialists that we've currently got. We then had Ovie Ejaria and Sam Hutchinson, another trialist, in the midfield. We had Yakumete, Tom Ince and Femi Aziz up top with Lucas Schwal. Now I'm just going to go through some of the notes that I've got just from the game. Might as well go through the second half team as well just quickly now. So we had Dean has completely changed second half. Much different team, and yeah, the performance definitely showed that as well. So we had Dean Bazounis in goal, we had Dejan Tetek, Hutchinson, Genevieve and Bertha. Then we had Grant Ward, Tyler Forner and Jacob Davenport in the midfield. Then we had Geordie Jones, Connor Wickham and Josh Murphy. Yep, Josh Murphy in the attacking positions. We'll go into the first half, because I think the first half was the more important half to look at in terms of Reading going forward, because I think that's probably going to be more of our starting 11 when it comes to the Blackpool game. I thought Joe Lumley played very well. I'm going to get that straight away out there. Even though he was the less busier goalkeeper, I thought he made some really good saves throughout the first half. A shot from Joao Mario made him stretch, and he made a really athletic save to be able to tip that over the bar. He then made a good save as well from the following corner after a set-piece routine. Also was able to stop Rafa. He went through on goal after some pressure from Genevieve as well. And he shot low and was able to get low towards the ball. So I thought fair play to Joe Lumley. He's had a lot of stick coming into this season. A lot of fans were a bit like, we don't want to have him play. But listen, the lad played well today. He kept a clean sheet against Colchester as well. So you can't really complain really so far about how he's done. Kept a clean sheet here against Benfica as well, who are a Champions League level team. Yeah, it's only pre-season. Things could change on a flip of a coin when it comes to the Championship. But yeah, he's played well so far, so fair play to him. I thought he looked very decent with his feet as well. I thought he was good with his distribution and his feet. So it'd be interesting to see how he does. He might have to go ahead and play left back for us if we're not able to sign one. Going into some of the chances that Reading had then, Femi Aziz had a penalty shout in the first half. He was really the focal point of Reading's attack going forward. He had quite a few shots saved and really was the centre point. I think a lot of fans were very split on how Femi Aziz played from what I've seen on Twitter. I think I see a lot of fans complaining about him, but I see a lot of fans also complimenting him. In terms of what actually happened though, he definitely was the man who had the most output for Reading. He was bundled over in the box and the referee didn't even take a second chance to have a look. He was released by Tom Ince, who found him with a decent pass. Ince and Aziz were then involved again when Sam Hutchinson released Tom Ince, who was able to give it to Femi Aziz, who just missed the target. Helton then continued to be the busier of the two goalkeepers when he made some good saves to deny Ovie Ejaria and Femi Aziz within seconds of each other. Ejaria able to get to the rebound of Aziz's shot, but Helton was able to tip it past the post. Ovie Ejaria played as the number 10 for most of the first half, with Yakumete coming off with Josh Murphy replacing him. And I'm looking forward to seeing him really in that role throughout next season. If he can stay on the pitch, he's one of the better players we've got at the club, if we're honest. I think last season was a bit of an anomaly. I think he didn't really play too much because of obviously this COVID stuff. And whatever happens off the pitch, I couldn't care about really. But on the pitch, Ovie Ejaria is a good football player. He needs to work on his finishing. We all know that. Lad played decent. Listen, Julian Genevieve was definitely impressive. I got a lot of praise from him on Twitter from Reading fans, and I think he looked decent as well. He looked like a tidy defender, so I'll be interested to see how he does going forward and if we're going to go ahead and sign him. Second half, there was a lot of changes. Genevieve, Josh Murphy and Hutchinson were the only players that were able to remain from the first half. And we definitely struggled with Dean Bazounis being much busier than Joe Lumley. Benfica went 1-0 up when Alexander Ba was able to prod a shot in when it fell to his feet. They then added a second just 5 minutes later when Gil Diaz was able to be found on the edge of the box and scored with a first-time shot. Now, I must admit, didn't watch too much of the second half as, well, I had a lot of work to do. So I wasn't really able to see much of the second half. I did see the first goal, but the second goal I didn't see. From what I've taken from Twitter, Jacob Davenport seemed quite impressive. I liked him anyway. I think he was decent enough. Didn't really get played too much at Blackburn, but I think he is a decent player. I'd take him at Reading personally. He had a lot of energy and he ran around a lot supposedly. Tyler Forner played. He played more of a defensive midfielder role, so it'd be interesting to see how he will do against West Ham and against Brighton and Wimbledon coming up. For me though, takeaways, I would definitely take Julian Genevieve right now. Look like a tidy, decent defender. I'd also take Sam Hutchinson because he seemed to do quite well for Reading. He was able to ping balls over the top of the defence and was able to get the runners or the wingers onto them balls. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with them two players going forward. I was quite shocked to find out there was no Massimo Luongo as well. I thought he was on trial with Reading and I think everybody else did, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. So be interesting to see what happens with that deal. Connor Wickham's someone I would not take a punt on. Geordie Jones, listen, he seems to be a bit of the same player as an Aziz, as a Mate, as a Ince, someone that we've already got a lot of. So I don't know if I'd take a punt on him either. But yeah, that's kind of from what I see through the trialists. But again, it just depends what Paul Ince sees in training. One game means nothing. One game means nothing at all. So we ended up losing 2-0 to Benfica. I thought the first half we made a great account for ourselves. In the second half, obviously, a lot of changes. So it was always going to be a bit different. Tell me what you guys thought about the game in the comment section below. And tell me what you think of the trialists. Because I'd like to know who you guys would like to keep and who you wouldn't. Because it'd be interesting to find out from you guys, the fans of Reading Football Club. That's going to be it for today's video, though, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. See ya.